Hey, everybody. It's your lovely Lotus Blossom Lizzie. And today we are going to be playing in our junk journal. Y'all, I wish I could junk journal every day, but of course, we've been busy. So before we dig in too deep, I always like to invite you to subscribe to the channel. If you love junk journal related videos like this one, you can hit the subscribe button below and also hit the notification button so that you'll be notified when more videos like this one come out. And don't forget to hit all notifications so YouTube knows you really want to see the videos posted here. All right. So you all, I printed out some movie marquees or TV show marquees because I wanted to document some TV shows that I have been watching. And y'all, I do love to watch TV, but I don't watch a lot of it. And when I do, I usually watch TV shows. I'm also kind of a comic bookish fan. I don't really read comic books, but I love TV shows and movies from comic books. So this first marquee that I'm working with here, or playing with, because this is far from work, okay? The first marquee that we're playing with is Utopia, and that is from Amazon Prime, and it's a new show that just came out probably about maybe a month ago. And I really enjoy it. So stay alive, Jessica Hyde. So I am kind of playing with this to try to figure out what I want to do. And I took out some of these old book pages that I have from an old Reader's Digest magazine. And if you need some book pages like this or some things for your junk journal or a junk journal, you can head over to pleasantcreations.com and you can get that. But I have been making available, you can get 100 book sheets, and that way you don't have to tear up your kid's book to do your junk journaling. I'm just saying, okay? So I took it over to the sewing machine. I kind of layered things together and I sewed it on the whippersnapper. So you won't see the whippersnapper make an appearance, but I used the whippersnapper a lot when I was doing these layouts in the book here. So just keep that in mind. Y'all know how much I love sewing. And I just love the texture of it and the look of it. It just, I don't know. It just gives everything that added, pizzazz. And I think that's what I like about it. Now, I switched out Utopia with Hamilton, and Hamilton is on the Disney Plus channel, and I've watched it. I've talked about it several times because I've been totally obsessed with Hamilton. I love it. I know all the songs now, so I can sing them. I got the soundtrack. Yeah, I'm a little bit obsessed, and so I wanted to write a little bit about it, what I liked about it, and how at first, I didn't really want to watch Hamilton, and I decided one day when I didn't have anything else to watch, I had binged out everything else on Netflix and Hulu and Amazon Prime and all that good stuff, and I finally watched it and I really enjoyed it because I love musicals. Do you all love musicals? Put in a comment if you love musicals and put what's your favorite musical that you love. So I did a ton of writing, and I did use my white Uniball pen, and I'll also have links below to the supplies that I'm using in the description. And you can also come over to our Facebook group, which is Junk Journal Buddies, and you can join us over there and have more junk journal fun. Now, I just happen to have an obsessed vocabulary card, which is part of the digital kit over in the shop, which is the vintage vocabulary letters. And I took out my bag of scraps because, who doesn't have a bag of scraps? Everybody, right? Maybe. I probably have more scraps than I need, so I've been trying to kind of use those up. And so I just layered those up and I sewed them over on the whippersnapper real quick. That's what was taking me so long, y'all. So now I'm kind of fiddling around and just trying to figure out where I want to put this piece at. I wasn't really sure. I know it's hard for you all to see the writing, but it's okay because at the end I will have some up close photographs and you can kind of see how things came out. Because, although I'm sharing with you all, I did this for me and I could see it even if you all can't. Okay? Don't judge me. I'm just saying. And this is like a great way to kind of use pages in a different way. I used this page as a background before I got started. So it's a cardstock page and kind of that gingham kind of turquoisey and white color. And I really enjoyed just using that as a background. So to some people it may look a little bit busy, but I'm very eclectic when I create in my book. And so you'll see lots of different colors and patterns kind of mixed up. And that really makes me happy because that's what you have to go for. When you are playing in your junk journal, you want to go with what makes you happy. Don't worry about if somebody sees your book. Go with if it makes you happy. I also took out some of my Posca pens, and we played with the Posca pens in a few videos back. I got those from Amazon and I love them, and now I use them almost every time I pull out my junk journal and sometimes in between. You know how that goes. And now I'm taking out some of my washi, y'all. This is just an inkling of how much washi I have, and in my attempt to use more washi, I'm going to put quite a few pieces down on here, and I'm not measuring anything. I'm just kind of ripping it and not slapping it down because we want to put our pieces down with love, so not slapping it down. Now, something that I probably should have did was put like a little bit of extra glue on each of the pieces to keep them down. I did see that I had some issues right away after I got all of my pieces of washi down. Some of them started coming up, and I just took my glue stick and just kind of glued them back down. But I love the effect that the washi has on here, and again, it adds some extra elements and some extra texture. Now these strips, these tickets I made, and they are actually a reward over on the Patreon channel. So if you want to see some additional content over there and hang out with me over there and support the channel, you can head over to patreon.com/Liz4a-day. And I have these over there as a reward. I also took out some of my stamps, which again is something that I don't use enough of. Y'all, I've been hoarding these stamps and I don't know why. Stamps are really easy to get, but I don't know. I just been hoarding them. I didn't want to let those stamps go. So I decided that I'm going to try to use more stamps in my layouts also. I could just walk around my space here in my studio and find things that I've been hoarding and I need to use, and I probably in my lifetime will still never be able to use them all. Do you have so much stuff that you wouldn't be able to use them all? I do, child, I do. So now I had the bright idea to put a hole in the middle of the page, and I'm doing that with my We Are Memory Keepers eyelet setter, and this is the Big Bite. And I like it. I've been putting eyelets in everything. I've been going eyelet crazy. So if y'all been looking at these last few videos, almost every video I've used that eyelet setter. Either the normal eyelet setter or the Big Bite. Either one, I've just been going crazy with it. So what I wanted to do was just kind of make a moving piece on here, because that's another beauty of junk journaling is the books have an interactiveness, and you can make pieces that flip up, flip out, fold. You can take things out, put things in, and in this particular case, this kind of just swings. I can swing this piece around, and I used a brad to get that effect that I wanted. I also stapled things at the bottom, but y'all stapled the other pages together. But I just ripped them apart. Ripped them. That sounds so rough, huh? I gingerly took them apart. It's hard to tell on the video because things are going kind of fast, but I gingerly took things apart and just made sure that those little pieces of staples were down so I wouldn't kind of prick my fingers when I, flip through the book. So now I took out my gold Uniball pen, and I'm going to go around these butterflies that are at the top. And I actually put the butterflies on in a different video. And I don't know if the video is up or not, y'all. I record so much stuff, it's like crazy. So sometimes it's hard for me to remember, especially when I'm doing the junk journaling processes. So I just ask for your forgiveness on that, okay? I'm trying to get the content out to you all. So on this other page, I have like this envelope and it has like a journal card in there that I made. But I wanted to use this other strip because the colors kind of match perfectly. And I wanted it to be close to that gingham pattern. So I was just trying to figure out where I wanted to put it at. And I decided that it was going to go on that short flap, which, by the way, I love all the different pieces of paper that I have in this journal and the different sizes. So I've been having a lot of fun with those short pieces as well. So I decided to put these tickets down with some school glue. And the trick with using the school glue, I've said it before, but if you're new, I'm going to tell you again, is you just need to use a fair amount of it. So don't be stingy when it comes to using the school glue. If you put down a good amount of it, then your item should stick down fine. I haven't had any problems with things coming up using the stick glue. So I really love how that page came out. So let's do another page. Now, I don't always just work on a page at a time. Sometimes I go through and I just stick an item here, stick an item there. But in this case today, I pretty much kind of stuck to specific pages. And that's something that I don't always do. But I was kind of enjoying the process. I wanted to really do my journaling at the same time that I was putting the pictures in here, the marquees in here. So that kind of motivated me to kind of stick to one page. But, it's no big deal if you don't. If you want to put like one little piece of whatever you have down on one page and then go all the way to the back and put a card there and go to the middle and do a little writing, you do you. It is your junk journal. You do you. Now, I had that scrap paper, and on the side of the scrap paper, I had did some testing, which I forgot all about. And I was using that scrap paper, you can see here, to glue things down. And I decided, you know what? I'm going to use that where I had that edge punch at with those butterflies. I'm going to use that too. And, there goes that trash thing. One man's trash is another man's treasure. Well, in this case, my trash, my treasure, and I decided to use it. And I didn't take it apart or anything. I just left it the way it was, and I thought it would be a terrific piece to go on my collage here. Now, the original page that I'm collaging on was part of a calendar. You all, calendars make great journal pages, and I love using them in my book. They make a terrific background. They're usually made on pretty sturdy paper, and they always have beautiful pictures like on one side of the page. So that's another good idea for a page in your junk journal. So I have the Mandalorian marquee that I wanted to use, and I'm still in my mind trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to put him down, because I'm not just going to lay him down on this page and glue him, because that is not how I roll. But first, I wanted to take out some more washi tape, because I have plenty. I think I used a lot of washi tape in this particular session, and I enjoyed kind of layering them up. I got the idea from another YouTuber, and I don't remember which one it is, but y'all watch a lot of junk journal YouTube channels before I go to bed at nighttime. That's kind of my thing. I like watching junk journal videos and getting ideas from how other people do it. So if you ever get stuck in your junk journal process, just Go into, the YouTube search and put in Junk Journal with me, and you will get tons and tons of ideas, and you'll find people that you'll enjoy watching that do things in the style that you do them as well. So I am going to back my Mandalorian with some fabric, but I didn't know which fabric I was going to use. So I was kind of testing things out, and I kind of like this piece, not for any other reason than I like the way it felt and I like the way it looked, because there's no matchiness going on my page. And I used a flat iron a flat iron that you use on your hair. That's what I used to iron that little piece out, and it worked perfectly. I keep that by my desk. So when I have little quick projects that I need to iron out like this, and I could use that flat iron because I don't use it on my hair anymore. So it's nice and clean, and I could use it in my book. So I made a flip out of this. I sewed it on my machine, and again, you'll be able to see the sewing on the images that I'm going to show you at the end. Now I had this card box, and I showed this in a haul where I got this box. I think I got it from like Goodwill. It has some cool cards in it, and I've been hoarding this box, keeping it so I could use it for something like this. So it's a nice sturdy box, and my intention was to use the sides of the box as tags, but they had some tape on them, and I really couldn't use them. So unfortunately, they ended up in the trash. So I wanted to also, there were some pieces on, or some spots on that box that I didn't like too much, so I wanted to cover them up. So I went into my words book here, and I just pulled a few words out that kind of fit the Mandalorian theme here. Let me tell it. And then I went over to the sewing machine and I sewed them onto the box. And you'll see that in the photographs at the end as well. I also decided to put a notch in the box and then kind of, curve the corners so I would know that it's a pocket. I wanted to say so that you would know it's a pocket, but I almost forgot. This is for me. This is my book, but you can use that idea if you like, of course. So I wanted to put this down with some double stick tape, and I used some thin double stick tape because the thinner the tape, the bigger the pocket is. The bigger the tape, the smaller the inside of the pocket is. So I wanted it to be big enough to hold one of the postcards that I made. I made that on, I think the last stream before this, I made some vintage postcards. I did staple it down at the bottom so it wouldn't come up. Y'all, I love how these postcards came out. They're like so perfect. I can use both sides basically. I could have it in the pocket like that with the black and white image showing, or with the writing. So I did the writing on here kind of off camera, and there goes the Posca pens. There goes that Posca pen. And I put 2020 on here because I told y'all at the beginning. 2020, I really wanted to kind of note things for this year, because I'm almost certain that I'll still be using this book in 2021, I think. I don't know. It's getting kind of fat already, and I don't mind my books getting fat, but I may run out of room. I don't know how that's possible because this book is ginormous, y'all. Ginormous, but we'll see what happens. So I wanted to put that 2020 in there. And I like having the journaling in my junk journal too, because I don't know, it just adds to the everything. So here's some images of my finished pages for today, and of course it's to be continued. There's more coming up. So remember to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button if you enjoy videos like this, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. We're trying to get this video to 1,000 thumbs up. Haven't said that in a while. So with that, I am going to say love, peace, and hair grease. From your sweet Lotus Blossom and lovable Lizzie, have a fantabulous day and enjoy life.